Welcome everybody to another review from NewZona Rides. I'm going to keep the flashlight vibe rolling here. Just completed a UV flashlight review and decided since I had everything set up for said flashlight review, we'll just roll on right into this one here. This one's going to be off the cuff, not really prepared. I don't really see it deserves much more than that, and I'll let you know why. This is going to be a story time situation. I've got a story that involves this flashlight right here. I've been carrying it for about 3 months. I've been carrying this every day for about 3 months. And I have come to know a little bit about this light. And it's going to be a lot different than other reviews that you've seen from this light. And it's so different, in fact, that it makes me question whether or not some of the other reviews that I've seen on this light, if they actually used this light, or did they just throw out some talking points. Let me tell you what I think happens with flashlight reviews. A lot of the time. Probably not all the time. Sometimes. These flashlights are provided by the company. This light was not provided to me. I bought this with my own money. This was a light that I wanted for my personal self. So what I think happens is sometimes flashlights are provided to people, they don't really have an interest in them, and they don't really carry them, they don't really use them. They watch, one guy will watch another guy's review, that guy will watch this other guy's review, and then they just start regurgitating all the information that one guy said, the next guy said, the next guy said, until that's the song that everybody is singing. Now, I'm not saying that that's, 100%, but that's the kind of thing that I'm noticing here. And I have such a stark contrast to their reviews as far as my opinion of this flashlight that I just don't understand how anybody could have a different opinion if they actually used this light. So let's get in there. Let's get into it with the story. The story is on this light is I was using this, carrying it every day. And with an everyday carry flashlight for me, I work during the day now, so I don't generally use a flashlight on a regular basis. My habit for my everyday carry lights is in the morning when I put the flashlight in my pocket, I'll turn it on and make sure that it works. And then I'll put it in my pocket. That's just a good habit to get into. You don't want to go to use your flashlight and it not work, right? So I know for a fact I did that in the morning. Check the light. Went through the day of work, came home, and was wanting to barbecue. It was later than normal. It was dark. So I go into the garage to get my barbecue grill, and it's dark, and I can't find what I'm looking for. So I grab my flashlight that I have on me all the time, pull this out, and this thing is deader than a doornail. It doesn't work. Completely dead. So I bring it back in, and I try 3 more batteries. I try 3 more batteries. I pull the battery out that's in it. I put it in the charger. The charger says the battery's fully charged. I, no matter what I do, can't get this to work. So then I contact Nitecore via email that same night. They respond the next day. They want me to give them the serial number off the light, which I did. It's right here. Gave them the serial number. Told them the problem. They sent me some suggestions to try. I tried them, didn't work. So they told me to contact the person I bought the light from. So then I did that. So I contacted the seller that I purchased this from. They gave me some suggestions. They told me to take the clip off. They told me this is a 3-piece light. Make sure everything's super tight, blah, 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 blah. I did all those things. Light still does not work. They gave me an RMA number. I sent this light in. I'm just going to tell you what I'm told. It's up to you to decide what happened, because I don't know. I'm as confused by this as you are going to be right now. They get this light and they check out the 2 batteries that I purchased with this light. They say one of them is completely dead, totally completely dead. The other one, they put in the flashlight and the flashlight works fine. So they said, well, they're going to charge up the other battery, make sure it works too. And so they did. That night they charged up that battery and they said both batteries are working, the light's working fine. They don't know what's going on. So they said they're going to keep the light for, you know, a few days and test it on and off, run a couple of batteries through it, make sure that it's functioning. So they do. Everything turns out fine. They send it back to me. This is how I got it. Now it works. It works, you know, just fine, you know. So I don't know what to make of that. I'm not sure what to say about that situation, other than to say that I'm super confused by it, just like you are. I don't know what happened. It's unfair of me to say that anything nefarious happened. I don't think it did. I think the people that I bought this flashlight from are genuinely good people. I talked to them through emails several times. They seemed like they were just as confused as I was about the situation. That being said, I got the light back. I don't feel like I can trust this light anymore. When you take flashlights seriously and you understand, and you've had a job for 25 years plus or whatever, where a flashlight is the difference between you living or dying, seriously, it's that important to you, and a flashlight fails, that's the end of that flashlight. I'm not like, I don't know, there's no explanation for why this flashlight failed. And since there is no explanation, this will never be my main carry flashlight again. So take that for what it's worth. Now let's get into the actual flashlight itself. If that hadn't happened, let me tell you what I think about it. Aside from that. Okay, now the programming of this flashlight is pretty extensive. We won't really go into that except to show you, like, here, this is how you turn the light on with this back button. Let's see, so there's low, medium, high, turbo, 900 lumens. It's a really bright light for a small light. It's crazy. There's the candle light, the candle power candle light. What am I trying to say here, guys? Anyway, the lowest setting, and then low, medium, high, turbo. Okay, so the light functions pretty well there, so let's go ahead and get this back to where I normally use it. Turn the power off. Now if you just hit the front button, that turns on this, I don't even know if you can see that, it turns on this red night vision light, so you can use the light in the dark without hurting your night vision. Now this is one of the features that I really wanted for this light, but nobody else mentions this, but this is worthless. It's so dim, you can't see anything in the dark with this red light. It's ridiculous. This is a ridiculously worthless feature, and everybody said how wonderful this is, and that's why I'm saying I don't know if people actually used this light. I find this to be an awesome idea, executed very poorly. Because in my opinion, if a light is this dim, why do I need it to be red? I mean, I can use the map or the candle power lighting that the flashlight has, and it doesn't need to be red if it's that dim. So anyway, that's my opinion on that. So let's get into some of the other things. Normally, this is my opinion on flashlights. If you have a side switch, which is not my preferred method of switching a light on, tail cap switches are my favorite, unless of course you're talking about Army Tech, which has solved the side switch issue. More on that later. Stay tuned for that for another video. But when it comes to side buttons on a flashlight, I hate this. I've had to modify more flashlights than I can count to make this work. Can't think of a way to modify this to make it work for me. So that's that. So my opinion on side buttons in a small EDC flashlight is, if you have side buttons like this, it should have a magnetic tail cap, because that's the whole reason to have a side button situation, in my personal opinion. There's no other reason I would have a button on the side of the light if I don't have a magnet on the back. I just took that for granted when I bought this light. I just assumed it had a magnet in the back. Kind of looks like it does. You know, with this ring right here, I thought that this was a magnetic tail cap. It's not. It doesn't stick to squat. There's no magnet here. I think that is an oversight that I feel stupid that I just assumed it did. So we have side buttons and no magnetic tail cap. Okay. I carried this actually every day. I really did carry it. And this light turns on in your pocket just by blowing on it. I mean, it's unbelievable. I've had a lot of flashlights that's been my complaint. I've always had this complaint about side switched flashlights. But this one does it So easy, it's ridiculous. You'll just be sitting somewhere, and the next thing you know, you'll smell like trash burning, and it's your leg is on fire. And that's not a good thing. That is definitely not a good feature to have in a flashlight. This flashlight on the plus side is super bright for such a compact light. It does get firecracker hot on turbo. This thing goes into turbo mode, and you better do what you got to do quick, because this thing does get pretty firecracker red fast, and it does go from turbo and reduces its power pretty quickly. And this does run on one of my favorite batteries. I don't know why we don't have more and more flashlights using this battery. It's one of my favorites. This is the 18350. Love the 18350 battery for small flashlights. It's my favorite small battery flashlight. I think that we need more flashlights using 18350. That's my personal opinion. For a small compact light like this, it just doesn't get any better as far as battery power goes. It's a good compromise between the brightness of a flashlight. It gives you the brightness of an 18650. Just doesn't last as long. Okay, it lasts about half as long. That's why I like the 18350. Love that battery. Okay, that's about wraps it up for me, man. I guess I'm going to leave this up to you guys. I mean, I've given you all the details of this flashlight. I can't say that this flashlight's a total fail. I can't say that I personally don't like it. I think that there are people out there that will like this flashlight, that it does serve some sort of purpose for them. I can tell you that it's tough. I've dropped it. I just don't trust it. This light works. It fits a niche for people that want to EDC a super bright flashlight. I think it's the execution of the modes and the switches and everything leaves a lot to be desired. If you're a Nitecore fan, well, maybe this is going to fit right in for you. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Is this a pass or fail situation here? Is this light recommendable, or is this light a fail and you should still steer clear of it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is this a flashlight that you would consider, or based on what I've said, are you just going to skip this one and wait for the next one? I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I'm on the fence. Let me know what you think. Talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hope it was entertaining. On and in.